Hello VC, this is Steve here. As you know, I'm still in Surrey. I wasn't going to make this video, but I'll explain the background. If you watch Metal Theologian channel, Aaron, he did a video this morning. Now, Aaron lives in America, I live in the UK, and I think there's a time difference. Well, I know there's a time difference between us. So when Aaron releases his video, I always tend to pick him up around about between, say, 6 and 8 AM in the morning. And I got myself some coffee, and I watched the video, and Aaron did tell me he was going to make it. And if you look at my back catalogue of videos, about maybe 2 months ago, I held up a record by a guy called Prince Farai. So Aaron's messaged me and said, "Oh, I didn't know you was a Prince Farai fan." So Aaron this morning made a video showing all his Prince Farai records, and the links to the video you'll find below. Now, before we go any further, please don't watch this until you watch the video down below. Then you'll understand why I'm making this video. Then it'll all be clear. Don't just watch this video and think, is a Zulu gone nuts again, and wonder what I'm talking about without watching Aaron's. Because what I thought I'd do is, everybody, when we look at each other's videos, does like a reply in the box. You know, I always encourage people and stuff. Aaron will testify to that, and I think, you know, Aaron's videos are top notch. And I thought it was absolutely brilliant, and we put a little comment in the box, and that's it. So what I thought I'd do is, rather than sort of at 8 AM in the morning typing like reams out of information, I'd make my reply to his video orally through a chat video, because I just want to talk about something that is a very important period of my life. And Aaron showed all the Prince Farai's, all the ones he's had of Farai. I own, I think, one album by him, because I found it in a record store a month ago, and that's obviously how this all come about. But it's my love of reggae. Now, I go to a Jamaican church, and Jamaican reggae is one of my favourite kind of music. Plus for the fact, in the 80s, I left school in 82. And in London at the time, I wasn't collecting heavy metal, but there was a lot of ska music, like Bad Manners, Madness, Specials, that sort of stuff. And a natural progression on like that was reggae. And I discovered a lot of reggae artists like Desmond Dekker and Bob Marley and Farai a bit later. Well, I can't remember if it might have been at the time, I just can't remember, Aaron. But I know it was later, probably maybe the late 80s. I was listening to Farai and all the deep sort of roots reggae, and the deep, what I call the deep reggae, because there's a lot of different types of reggae, like dancehall and that sort of stuff. And one thing it was really trendy that time was looking for reggae 7-inch singles and vinyl LPs in the UK. And Studio One label, there was Trojan, all sorts. There's about 10, maybe a lot more. Because in Jamaica, one of their biggest industries is recording. There's recording studios everywhere. They record a lot of gospel music, a lot of reggae, and there's just thousands upon thousands of record labels. Some of them good, some of them not so good. But also in the 80s, when I was sort of listening to the ska, Bob Marley was sort of, he was coming to the front. And everybody was buying the reggae because of that, because Marley sort of took it to the world, and he was very commercial, and everybody knew about it then. But when if you want to sort of like go into reggae, then you sort of get into it big time. Then you come up against people like Farai, and there's thousands of reggae stars, and their music is phenomenally good. So anyway, here's me, didn't know where to turn in life. Then I think it was around about 83 I discovered Iron Maiden, Run to the Hills, and as I've discussed in previous videos, the rest was history. But Jamaican reggae is one of my favourites. If I wasn't a heavy metal collector, I would almost certainly be collecting Jamaican reggae. The trouble in England, reggae, it was like a lot of the DJs used to collect the 7 inches, and they just got smashed to bits, because what they were doing was they were sticking them on turntables and playing them to death until the records got so badly damaged. Nowadays it's very, very hard to find quality reggae, because it's very, very expensive. Where I shop at the Rock Box, I do generally pick up some reggae, but you've got to watch the prices of it, because it is absolutely, the prices now are crazy. I can't afford it. And I found with record collecting you have to stay focused on a genre, and in my case it's heavy metal. I do diversify slightly. I've got into outlaw just in the last few months. I do buy other genres, and but you know, the price has got to be right, otherwise I can't afford it. I don't touch it. But anyway, with the Jamaican reggae, my cousin, he was a massive fan of it as well, and he got me into a lot of it. But I've always been into Jamaican reggae. But the trouble is, in my everyday life, even now, I get absolutely saturated with the stuff. When I go out to friends of mine and they're Jamaican, I listen to it. Sometimes there's a guy playing it at record fairs in the UK. It's always there. So I never ever sort of bother buying all the records religiously. Plus the fact, truth to be truth, I want to buy heavy metal, because that's what I collect. Anyway, so I've always just listened to other people's collections, and that's my dosage of reggae. I've never actually bought it, but I had some very fond memories back in the 80s, just going through the single boxes of record stores, 7-inch singles it was mainly, buying reggae. And like I said, you had, I think it was Studio One, Trojan, the labels. There's lots and lots of labels. I've just named a couple, and we used to, you know, some of the records never even had those inserts, and you had those stupid plastic things you had to snap in. But I did pick up a fairly big collection of reggae, mainly on 7-inch. But if you've seen my previous videos, you know I got hit twice, I got robbed, and unfortunately my reggae was more street cred than me heavy metal, and that's why I nicked it all. But I don't know if Aaron's heard this band. There's a band called Savage. I remember picking up them singles, because it's one of their songs. It's just absolutely amazing. Another band I love, which is a London band, is called Aswad. That in Arabic, I think it means black or slave. I forgot. It's an Arabic word, and I do tend to buy a lot of their albums. I've got a lot of them at home. But I don't generally listen to heavy metal on a Sunday. Well, I don't. I give it a break, because 99% of the stuff I listen to now is heavy metal. But I do punctuate it with a bit of jazz, a bit of funk occasionally, but it's mainly metal now. But anyway, so where I live, Birmingham, that's sort of a big reggae hub as well. We invented heavy metal with Sabbath, Priest. There's a lot of bands, but mainly Sabbath and Priest. But what not a lot of people don't realise as well, is very, very big on reggae. Again, when you go to the places I frequent in Birmingham, it's always there. Someone's always playing it. I have a great time, but I don't get, sort of, like I said, I don't buy the stuff anymore. But this record buying trip, I did pick up a couple of records, and the one I was absolutely shocked to pick up was this album, and it's the Trojan records, and basically it's 20 reggae blockbusters, and it's all the Trojan albums that actually charted in the UK. Now, I wouldn't hold up a record like this normally, because it isn't heavy metal, but I do pick these albums up if they're cheap, and this one I think was £3. If you look on the back side of it, you'll get all the music, and you've got like To Be Young, Gifted and Black. I think Nina Simone covered that record. You've got Help Me Make It Through the Night. That's been covered to death. Love of the Common People. You Can Get It If You Really Want It. It's Desmond Dekker, and he also did Israelites, which is a phenomenally good song, and a lot of Desmond Dekker on there. But I hope you can see the track listing okay. But this album cost me £3, and it's like all the Trojan singles that have charted since about 1970. It's on a beautiful cover, but when I do these haul videos, it's something I would not normally show. I ought to, but I'm not going to. You'll have to take my word for it. Someone who hang on a second, they've put it into an anti-static, but unfortunately I've done it round the wrong way. But as you can see on this record, it's in pristine condition, and it has got the Trojan label, which is a famous Jamaican record label. It's not the good Trojan, the ones where it shows you the actual Greek helmet, but it's good. But it's great nick, and I picked this one up for £3. But that's my Jamaican reggae for the week, and this is the sort of music I listen to on a Sunday. And another record I picked up, which ain't reggae, is Isaac Hayes and Dionne Warwick, and that again I've just picked it up for personal listening to. It's a very good album. It's in awesome condition. I paid £5 for it, and again I wouldn't normally show it on a VC video. It's part of my Sunday listening, but I'm a massive Isaac Hayes fan, and it's got obviously duets he's done with Dionne Warwick. It's got a lovely sleeve to it as well. You know, it looks like I can stick my head through it. Look, it's got a lovely sleeve. But I have got a lot of the reggae. But the problem with it is I don't know what it's like in America, Aaron. But in the UK, it's very, very, very expensive reggae is now. So you know, it's way out of my price range. But I do own a lot of reggae albums. So I just wanted to do this video as a reply to Aaron's video, and also encourage my brother VC members like Aaron did. If you haven't discovered reggae, please don't dismiss it and think it's a load of garbage. I urge you, please give it a go. You will find some of the most thought-provoking music you'll ever hear, and some of the lyrics are just absolutely outstanding, especially when they talk about world peace and poverty and stuff like that. You know, it's just out of this world, and you think, yeah, I wish we could all live like that, then there wouldn't be any wars in the world or any trouble. But it's just amazing music. I can't recommend it enough. And there's nothing like slipping back on a Sunday afternoon, boiling hot weather outside, which is not happening in England at the moment, and relaxing to a good reggae record. It just goes hand in glove. I bet Aaron's done that a lot of times, and he'll know what I'm talking about. But it's just an amazing sort of summer type music. But I urge you, VC, I shall definitely be looking for more reggae now, if I can afford it, that is. But please, like Aaron says, I really encourage you, go out and give it a go, and you'll be pleasantly surprised what you get. Anyway, I'm just packing my stuff at the moment. I am departing back West Midlands tomorrow. I am down south. I'm getting spoilt down here, so I've got to go back to reality tomorrow. But I'll give you all a tonsience, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Take care and love one and each other. Peace out, folks. Peace out.